Sheep stuck in the snow. You listen to him tonight.
I'm going to go home, I'm going to put BBC One on, and I'm going to listen until I've heard him.
Reprieve, I'm glad we got these guys back. Reprieve is a brand new feature film shot in West Norfolk.
It's definitely not a flimsy. The supernatural drama had its premiere at King's Lynn Arts Centre last week. Martin Strals is the film's producer. He joins us in the studio along with director Luke Goold. You're almost regulars now. You're in here so often, updating us on your progress.
Well, certainly, absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you once again.
There's some people in the building who didn't realise that you'd gone away and come back. They just thought you stayed
just camped out under a bench.
Yeah, that's it. We couldn't make it to the premiere. There was Thordis the Thunder Fairy had to rush off to Bristol.
I got sent to Bristol to make me a better person.
So my
didn't work.
My workload therefore doubled. And there were other issues, so I didn't get along. How did it go?
Well, there were plenty of people there. It's a fantastic turnout, really great turnout. Everyone's sort of, as we said, sort of suited and booted and ball gowned up to the hilt.
Really,
you know, my gown was particularly pleasant.
Can you imagine all those whispers behind us? Look at him over there. You can see everything.
It was a brilliant success.
Yeah, no, it was. We had about just over 300 people turn up.
Brilliant!
All in their suits
wonderful.
and gowns, and we had, I think, about 3 photographers walk around and take pictures of everyone. We had arrival photos, and we had Lynn News, a local paper, come and take a photo for us as well. And it was, I'd say, it was a very, very successful night, and people just surprised, just to see
absolutely,
it.
Hopefully with the quality of what we'd produced. We gave some speeches at the beginning, and we said we don't want the fact that we had a very small budget to affect. It should inspire you to this is what we've managed to achieve, and I think we managed to hit some points bang on within the film. You could hear people sort of sniffing and tears and things like that. Oh, it's beautiful.
I've had several people approach me and say this is the best film that I have seen. That actually speaks to me, and it has some value to it.
Well, it would touch on most people. Reprieve, in case you're listening to this and you don't know, Reprieve is a film that suggests that you can actually make contact with someone who's passed away, a dear one, a loved one.
Yeah.
And so that's going to touch many hearts. Was it a difficult one to approach, because you can't take that lightly, because you could offend and
absolutely. I was very, very keen when it came to writing it, was not to show the mother or the father in any kind of sort of stereotyped, from a stereotype viewpoint, that to address both of their methods of coping, and to show them fairly. And I worked in mental health for some time, so I had a little bit of a grounding in it. But yes, you have to be very, very sensitive with something like that. But there were moments of levity in there that had people sort of chuckling as well, which was great fun.
Yeah. Actually, we had quite a lot of people who haven't got, who English isn't a first language for them, and they're not as fluent as sort of, as your typical sort of day-to-day British person, but they came up to me and they said, I didn't understand the film to start with, but they said until we saw the last 2 scenes, it all made sense. And for someone who doesn't grasp the English language as well as other people do, for someone to say that they understood the whole film in just the last 2 scenes, it kind of...
Yeah, the visuals were speaking for themselves, which was great.
But because if you're watching a film and the language in which the film is made isn't your first language, it's very easy to lose the thread. You only need to lose a couple of words along the line, and you can completely...
It starts to unravel completely.
Yeah, exactly.
For your leads, your stars in the film, watching it then on the big screen at the premiere, it must have been, considering the subject matter, quite an exhausting kind of film to act in, exhausting roles to fulfil. So were they pleased with it? Were they a little overwhelmed?
What we asked of some of the actors was extremely demanding, and we had some extraordinary talent, brilliant talent. The interesting thing was when they saw the way we were working, because we had like 2 halves, the younger group, the younger age range, and we had the adult age range. Both halves didn't know what the other half of the film was doing until they got there, just on that premiere. Went, now it makes... it's all crystal clear now,
So we even had some of the actors say, but what was the other part? I'd never seen that. I never thought that anything's going. What?
Yeah.
So we kind of kept it a secret.
And that was a deliberate ploy by you guys.
Yeah,
completely. And to see them, I remember on the night, one of the young lads who played one of the main parts just looked, and his face was sort of a bit shell shocked. Really, I've just been a main character, a main part in this gigantic film that was beautiful and had everyone cry. It was lovely, and the big round of applause at the end. It was such a fantastic time. But the demands on the actors were huge.
One of the biggest secrets we kept is I played a part myself in the film as well, and apart from myself and Luke, I don't think many other people knew. Not even my parents.
I didn't tell a soul. No, it was an absolute surprise.
So when people watched it and they went, You were in the film. That was you.
I love the idea of a cameo.
Alfred Hitchcock.
I turn up in a reflection in a shop window. That's all you see.
I can never pronounce his name, but is it Shyamalan or whatever? He does things like that, appears.
M. Night Shyamalan, definitely. I do like that. I think Stephen King does that quite often as well, and Stan Lee with the Marvel Comics novels. He's in every one
of course, yes.
So you're in good company.
Oh, carrying on an old tradition, I think, which is super fun.
What's the next project after? Well, actually, first thing to say, where can we see this film? Where can we go to the movies?
The film itself, it's coming out on the 1st of June, so it will be available on DVD from the 1st of June. You can either it will be on sort of iTunes and your usual sites, but you can also visit our site and you can pre-order a copy of a DVD, and you'll be one of the first people to see it on this planet, really.
And I know you've had lots of exciting developments in terms of film festivals that you would love to get it out into international forums.
It's still definitely got legs. I mean, who was it that approached us? It was the
Los Angeles Independent International Film Festival that approached us.
So you get your legs go a bit wobbly when you answer the phone, going, "Oh, hello."
And then we've had some interest from the New York International Film Festival, and they've said we've seen your film, we've seen the idea, we would really like to see the film itself. So would you be interested in submitting it to the next festival? So,
and you see, the British are making headlines at the moment. Now is such a good time to strike, isn't it?
I would say so. I think we're really sort of holding our own when it's coming to creating excellent pieces of drama.
And and there is that thing. I know when you're dealing with like New York and Los Angeles, when Thordis and I do it quite regularly when we're dealing with celebrities, showbiz, and bands and whatever. You've got to strike that I don't know, the balance between being pleasantly surprised and staying cool.
This is all absolutely fine.
It's when you pick up the phone and say hello. Oh my god!
You hear the thud as your body's hit the floor, the phone swinging in the air.
Hello, this is Luke Gould's assistant. He's just passed out.
Which, I mean, as for the future and future projects, I mean, with
our next project, it's a feature film. We have several other projects. We've got a YouTube TV series, which will be, well, not a TV series, but a YouTube series, which will be coming out twice a week, and just keep your eyes out for that.
Is it already in the can, or have you yet to make that?
We are actually the sort of second phase of the development stage. We know what we want from it, so we're now getting a pool of other writers, comedians, and people to come together.
We're about a week away from starting shooting, so that's quite important. We've got a couple of music videos that we're working on as well.
Who's that with?
We've got actually the two artists that work with us on the film. It's kind of us returning the favour, and we're making them some.
One's for Big Dog Music, the other is for Jerry Seaton,
yes,
who provided the soundtrack for it. So being on such a micro budget that we were, it was you scratch our back, and after we've finished the film, we're going to make you some fantastic music videos that you can play with. As a documentary we're in the process of making, but the next big film features and looks at. We worked with young people. Now we want to work with the other end of the spectrum. I've always had a sort of an empathy for elderly people, especially people in care homes and what have you, who may not be be looked after as well as they could be. And so what happens in this is these elderly people actually plan a series of fantastic robberies. I think we have a bank robbery, we have a diamond heist, and then actually using sort of contemporary technology, using their grandchildren, they throw in a third more important heist, and they go and they build themselves their own old people's home, a beautiful one, you know, with a sipping margaritas on a veranda. I think there's a more political message in there is just that some of them do end up going to prison as a result, but it's all planned. And you can just see them walking with their slippers and newspaper going, actually 3 meals a day, healthcare, this is marvellous, I can sleep as much as I want. So it's saying that maybe we're not treating the elderly as well as we should, and be very careful because they have years of wisdom on all of us.
Well, that's because when it comes to young and old, that's because the people in the middle forget what it was like to be young, and have no idea that they are actually going to get old themselves. And that's what all gets horribly wrong, isn't it?
The film itself is called Sunnysiders. It's a working name at the moment, but we're sticking with Sunnysiders, which is the name of the care home itself.
Hopefully it's a bit of poignant comedy, I think, this time, going from something quite very emotional to something that's a little bit sort of lighter and have some real sort of comic capers going on in there. I think, how do you rob a bank, you know, if you have a Zoomer frame? I don't... This is an image I'd quite like. You have to do it very slowly and very methodically, which I quite like. So I'm looking forward to it. I think there's going to be lots of physical comedy as well as some very touching moments.
Oh, I think, yes, because, plenty of empathy in there as well as a bit of devilment.
Yes, so we're in the development stage. Well, we're just about to enter the development stage for the project, and once again, we are looking for people interested within the project. We are looking for sort of sponsors or contributors who'd be able to sort of assist us financially, and
that would be great to look for some really interested parties too. I mean, we'll be applying for funding from various funding bodies as well. But if anyone wishes to sponsor the making of the film. In the last one with Reprieve, we worked with so much young talent, so many inspired people, and if anyone wants to get on board and allow us to be able to promote that again, to do something again. We're looking to work with people internationally with this one as well, to get people, interested parties over from other countries and be able to sort of put them up for like some work experience and to give them...
Like coming from my own background, because I've only lived in this country for 7 years now. I'm originally from Latvia. And to think that, so just as an example, people in Latvia, they don't... I think there's a lot more opportunities here in the UK to do what I'm doing than there is over in Latvia. So what we're looking to do is not just involve Latvia, but every other country in Europe or worldwide. And if they're good at what they're doing, we will give them the opportunity and say, come and work with us.
Hopefully come and great on the CV.
You'll be the camera operator and come and work with us and to take them out of that environment and let them actually be on I'd say the world stage in the industry that they want to be in. It's just a great opportunity for everyone.
And with the funding, is that running costs? Is that like getting from A to B and buying a few props and getting whatever costumes you might need?
We like to with each sort of new project, we like to always up it a gear, step it up and step it up. So this one, with Sunnysiders, it's going to be much more, there's a lot more demands we'd like to make, but I think you need to aim higher each time, so we'll probably be looking to hire things like, almost like Air Force bases or hangars, things like that, places where we can
build our own sets, and we can, because on this project, we depended, very, very generous people, but we depended on other people, and, you know, everyone's got their own sort of requirements, and they've got the time that they can make, or they've got their things that they need to do. But in this one, we really want to make it, I wouldn't say better, but we want to step up, and we want to invest more time and more effort into it because we will have more control over the film. And that funding will give us the control to make it even bigger and better, because we're not depending on other people, we're not borrowing, stealing. We will still be borrowing...
Stealing?
Of course. That's your third film.
But, yeah, no, I mean, anyone that would be interested, just contact us, and any businesses, any product placement or anything like that, we're interested in it all, and
open to hear from absolutely anyone, really. We just like collaborative processes. We really do, working with everyone we possibly can. I just think it's a wonderful way to spend your day.
We'd like you two to play a part as well in the film.
Oh gosh,
cameos, that would be great.
We're enormous show-offs.
I can feel that coming on.
Oh yes.
To be honest, the news reporter or something like that, doing like the news show, the news of a bank robbery or a diamond heist.
And if you need, a monkey, if you're going into a wildlife club film or something, and that's me. Steve regularly says.
Well, I don't think we'd be able to provide you with a trailer, but we could provide you with a tent.
We'll go with that. A wigwam, it'll do us fine.
Wigwam,
I mean, just with contacts, if anyone wants to get in touch.
They can get in contact with us on our sort of Facebook page. Just search Riarmato Productions on our Facebook, or just visit our webpage, which is www.riarmato.co.uk, and all the contact details are on there.
And the film is called Reprieve.
The previous one, absolutely, and so they'll be doing much of the circuit now. So it's off, and it's wonderful to see it done. It's done. It's incredible.
I'm looking forward to seeing that on the big screen and sitting down with a glass of wine one night and watching it on my very own television.
Oh, definitely.
That would not be something brilliant. Always an absolute pleasure to have you guys in the studio. Thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you indeed.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
Have to get you in for an update on how it goes on the film festivals.
Yeah, absolutely. But before the actual launch, which is in June or July, did you say?
1st of June.
1st of June.
1st of June.
Well, before the 1st of June, come in and see us again.
Okay.
And give it a big push and keep us posted.
Oh, fantastic.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to see you. Thanks ever so much, Martin. And Luke.
Over the years, the Treasure Quest Easter special has given us loads of classic moments.
If you've just tuned in, Becky's on Great Yarmouth Roller Coaster at the